Good morning. Welcome to the City of Gary Board of Public Works and Safety's meeting for October 23rd, 2024. I'd like to call this meeting to order. May we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May we confirm quorum with roll call?
Member Green,
Present.
Member Allen,
Present.
Vice President Dumas,
Present.
Present.
Lost my mic, but we have 4 present, 1 absent.
With 4 present, we have quorum, we have an official meeting. We can conduct the business of the Public Works and Safety Board. At this point, I'd entertain a motion for item number 3, the approval of minutes from our October 16th meeting, 2024.
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes have been approved.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
may I make a motion to amend the agenda to add under unfinished business the previously approved contract for urine drug screens and request to advertise agreement.
Motion on the floor to amend the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The agenda has been amended. Let's move on to item 4 on our agenda, claims.
Mr. President, we have before us claims to be paid on October 25th, 2024. General fund is $170,599.61. Special revenues, including motor vehicle highway, local roads and street park department, park athletics, health and human services grant, landfill closure grant, vehicle auction, law enforcement training, green urbanism grant, solid waste recycling, COVID-19 health grant, tourism project, do it non-reverting fund, park construction, consolidated.
So moved.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
It's been moved and a second. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas,
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, we have 4 in favor, 0 opposed.
With a vote of 4 in favor and 0 opposition, the motion carries. The claims for October 25th, 2024 has been approved.
Mr. President, we also have 3 ratifications. The first one is for payroll withholdings of $149,961.19. Ratification of claims, $12,352.10. And ratification of pension payroll, $5,350.
I'd like to have a motion to ratification of claims as well as ratification for pension.
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and there is a second. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have a roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas,
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, we have 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
With a vote of 5 in favor and 0 against, the motion carries and the ratification of claims and pension has been approved.
That concludes claims.
Thank you. May we move on to line item number 5, correspondence and agreements?
Yes, Mr. President, we have correspondence from the Public Works Department, Walton's All Around Services. On May 29, 2024, the Board of Public Works and Safety approved the not-to-exceed amount for Walton's All Around Services for $15,000 for landscaping and maintenance at the Genesis Center, Metro Center, Health Department, Public Safety Facility, Ridge Road, MLK to Grant Street. When processing the last invoice for the season, it was discovered that the contract fell short of $421. The request to humbly approve the contract extension for $421 only as a not to exceed amount. At this time, I move to do so.
Motion on the floor to extend contract $421. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and there is a second. Any discussion on this motion? May I have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas,
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, we have 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
With 5 in favor and 0 opposition, the motion carries. Any other correspondence?
Correspondence from the engineering department. We have a request to advertise. This one is for streetlight installation and repair work in the Miller area. At this time, the engineering department would like to motion for approval of the request to advertise.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded that we have a motion to request for advertise for the engineering department. Any discussion on that motion?
Just to add, these lights are of different material from the ones that were ordered at previous Board of Works meetings. These have concrete posts, and this is pretty much just factoring in swapping out non-LED fixtures with new ones around like the Marquette area.
Clarification, you said that these are going to be the concrete posts similar to that are already there at Marquette?
Yeah,
or-
these are concrete posts. I don't think we have anywhere else in the city besides out there.
Yeah.
So this is a request to get quotes on that type of pole
Okay,
for material reasons.
thank you.
Mhm.
Any other discussion? May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas,
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
With a vote of 5 in favor and 0 opposition, the request for advertise has been approved.
There was also, another request for advertisement that was voted on when we amended the agenda. This one is a request for repair work for traffic signals. We've identified a few traffic. We've identified a couple of intersections with traffic signals. Thanks to the police department with their research and documenting for crash history. There's some intersections that we would like to get proposals to repair the infrastructure that's there. I wish I would have written down the addresses, but I think there's about 4 of them. But this is a request to get repair costs for these intersections.
Is that a motion?
Yes, I would like to make a motion that we approve the request to advertise, and this is for traffic signal repair work.
I second the motion to approve the request to advertise for traffic signal repair work.
It's been moved and seconded to advertise a request for traffic signal and repair work in the Miller neighborhood.
Not Miller, this is at specific,
Specific
intersections.
address.
Yeah. That we have a lot of crash history data on.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion?
So just to clarify, this is only for, I believe, about 4 or 5 locations in which, based on police data that we received and/or fire department data, have been elevated in crashes, vehicle incidents for the past 3 years, based on a current implementation study that is going on in conjunction with safety for roads and streets. So it's looking at those locations and trying to repair the traffic lights at those locations only for now.
Thank you, sir. May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
With a vote of 5 in favor and 0 opposed, the request to advertise has been approved.
That concludes correspondence from the engineering department.
Mr. President, we have one additional correspondence for requests to extend for advertising. Correspondence sent to the Board of Public Works and Safety from the IT department. This is a memo to request for an extension of the multifunction copier, scanner, printing, managed printed services, and copy support services for the city of Gary. The current deadline that was approved by the Board of Public Works and Safety was October 31st, 2024. The IT department is requesting for an extension to November 20th, 2024 to allow for more additional competitive applications and bids to be submitted. At this time, I would like to move to allow for the extension from October 31st to November 20th for the RFP.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to extend the RAP deadline to November 20th, 2024. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas,
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, we have 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
With 5 in favor and 0 opposition, the motion carries. Any other correspondence to go before the board?
Yeah, Mr. President, next we have correspondence from the Community Development Department regarding deed from the Dollar Home Program for 3612 Adams Street in Gary. So the recipient has met the requirements of the program, and so because they've met the requirements and the conditions, I move that we approve this deed, which will be executed by you, Mr. President, to transfer the property at 3612 Adams to, I'm going to tell you to whom in a second, to Zanisha Brown. And that's my motion.
Is there a second on the motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to transfer the deed for 3612 Adams to Ms. Brown. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green, Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, we have 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
With a vote of 5 in favor and 0 opposition, the motion carries to transfer the deed at 3612 Adams to Ms. Brown.
Mr. President, the next correspondence is from the Gary Police Department. It's in reference to a resignation. Officer Charles Renee Ricks has submitted a resignation to the Gary Police Department via Chief Cannon, as well as to the Board of Public Works. The documentation has been notarized by a notary. At this time, I move to accept the resignation for Officer Ricks.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the resignation for Officer Charles Ricks. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas,
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, we have 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
With a vote of 5 in favor and 0 opposition, the motion carries to accept the resignation of Officer Ricks.
Mr. President, next correspondence from the Gary Police Department is a request to advertise. The notice to advertise is in reference to the Gary Police Gun Range House construction. The construction documentation will be provided and set forth with, excuse me, sorry about that. All bids must be submitted by November 22nd, 2024. The submission location will be the Director of Public Works in City Hall at 401 Broadway in Gary, Indiana. All bids must be submitted in a sealed envelope and clearly marked Gary Police Gun Range Housing Construction. This documentation can be retrieved and or requested at the Public Works Department via the Public Works Administrator and or Director. If they have any construction individuals have additional questions about the specs, they can contact Commander Marlon Gray at 219-881-1201. That's 219-881-1201. At this time, I would like to approve a request to public bid advertise for the Gary Police Department gun range.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve a notice to advertise Gary Gun Range effective bid period through 11/22.
Close of business.
It's 22nd.
22nd. Oh, so by close of business is fine? Yes. So by close of business, I'll mean to say by close of business that day, and it'll be opened. Actually, it won't be open until the following 27th. The Board of
So-
Public Works meeting.
Do we call that 5 p.m.?
4:30 p.m.
Okay.
That's when City Hall closes.
Close of business is 7:30 for me.
Any further discussion? May we have roll call to approve, please? Excuse me.
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas,
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, we have 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
With a vote of 5 in favor and 0 opposition, the notice to advertise the Gary Gun Range by the close of day, November 22nd, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time has been approved. You're welcome.
Mr. President, next we have unfinished business. And if Attorney Molina could come up to the mic about the bid for the animal shelter. You come.
Well, no, not wait. The
What?
Hassey Construction.
Yeah, but that is why. It's all the same issue.
There's also in our packet an advertisement for a bid under correspondence that's not included on the list for the health department. Is that something we want to do today?
All right. Attorney Molina, can you come up?
It's not correspondence.
Okay, so in our packet, we have a proposed contract for Hassey Construction, but can you give us details on how this was bid and whether or not the way bids are received comport with what the requirements of state law are?
Yes, good morning, everybody. So we do have a contract for Hassey Construction to perform work in the public safety building in the basement. That was bid out. The bid asked for all bids to be submitted by July 17th, was it? And then it said that we would open the bids at a public meeting on July 25th. July 24th. I apologize about the date. That unfortunately, that didn't happen. Some of the bids came in later. We did get 3 bids, but due to circumstances, we weren't able to comply with the bid, what the requirements were to open it or to receive them in time. So given that, rather than risk anything, and it's probably not the most efficient way to make sure we go forward, but we also want to make sure we do it right. It doesn't seem that it complied with the state law. So at this time, I would ask that we rebid the project and go forward.
Okay. So, question, were sealed bids received in a sealed envelope?
Unfortunately, they were not sealed bids either. That's a part of the issue.
And-
I think the person who was in charge, they kind of fell out, and then someone else, the contractors were emailing directly unsealed bids of what they would do.
And was the estimate for this job over the threshold of $150,000?
yes, it was one where we would have to bid that out.
Okay. So would it be your recommendation to the board that we hate to have to do it, but rebid it just so we make sure we're in compliance with state law?
Exactly, just to be safe, to make sure no one has any complaints or that we're not complying with state law, that we should rebid the project.
Okay. All right. All right. So, I move that we table the contract for professional services for Hassey Construction. And we authorize that this be re-advertised for bid with a new deadline.
Is there a second to table the contract for Hassey Construction? And to
Oh, that's true. You know, let me revise my motion. We should reject the contract. Attorney Allen had a good point.
And we will reject the contract and reopen.
Rebid this with a deadline for the submission of bids. Do you think 2 weeks is?
Sufficient.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so the new deadline to submit bids will be 2 weeks from today at 4:30 Eastern Time. Huh?
9 a.m.
Oh, 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay, 9 a.m. Wednesday, 2 weeks from today. And Mr. George, should they be received in your office at 9 a.m.? Okay, 9 a.m., City Hall, first floor, Public Works Department.
November 6th.
November 6th, sealed bids, please. So my new motion is that I did it all. Can I have a second on my convoluted motion?
It's been moved and seconded that we reopen bids for this public safety building remediation project to be open till November 6th at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Any discussion on this bid? Motion. Sorry. Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Second.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
With a vote of 5 in favor and 0 opposition, the motion to reopen the bid for public safety building remediation has been approved.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Still under unfinished business, we have the animal shelter bid acceptance item. The only bid that we received is from Grimmer Construction, Inc., located at 2619 Main Street, Highland, Indiana. Just want to make sure. Okay, so we have a quote of $3,495,000, and then the budget to tear down the existing building on site is an additional $365,000. So again, we have a quote amount of $3,495,000. With an add-on of $365,000 to tear down the existing building on site. So I don't think we need a motion. I just think at this point we'll take the bid and we'll coordinate with the appropriate departments and then come back with a recommendation. Is that suitable or? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Any other unfinished business for the board? May we move on to item number 7, new business?
Mr. President, there was a additional item that would have been new business that was submitted before the secretary for review. It is an additional request to advertising. the advertising for, from the Gary Health Department. This is the advertising for, submission of bids for a renovated site, located at 300 West 21st Avenue. The scope of work would include plumbing, HVAC, roof, general carpentry, which includes painting, drywalls, flooring, ceilings, and general replacement of doors, windows, electrical, which includes updating lights, fixtures, inside and outside of the facility. The request is for advertisement to go until December 4th, 2024, at 4:30 p.m.
There's a request for advertisement for a facility at 300 West 21st Avenue. The bid will be open from December 4th, 2024.
No.
Open until December 4th, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on this motion?
I do. I would like to request that we move the December 4th date for the deadline of the bid to the same date as the gun range, because it's going into the holiday season and this is ARPA money. So we want to be sure that we're able to encumber it before Christmas. I don't know what date that was.
Do we have a date for that?
What was the date?
What date was that? The gun range? November 22nd.
So would you like to restate the motion to?
I withdraw my motion. Slater.
We move to change the deadline for the submission of the bids to November 22nd for the Health Department renovation.
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we have Health Department at 300 West 21st Avenue renovations, deadlines for December 4th. What is it?
November 22nd.
Oh my goodness, sorry. November 22nd, 2024. By the end of day, close of business day, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Vice President Dumas. President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, we have 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
With a vote of 5 in favor and 0 against, the motion carries for the request to advertise construction for 300 West 21st Avenue, Gary, Indiana. Any other new business before the board? Alex, do we have anyone in queue for public comments?
No, sir.
Mr. President, I'm
Yes.
sorry, we did amend the agenda at the beginning and added the amendment contract, and I missed that item after we finished the animal shelter. We can go back and revisit it. The contract is for, so in May, we approved a contract for community care network, community healthcare systems, occupational health, to provide urine screens for on-call and after hours. There was an amendment just to some of the technical language, and I'll have Attorney Molina come up and just state what that amendment is. The contract was approved and said the rate did not change. The not to exceed amount is $10,000, and this is for breath alcohol testing as well as rapid urine drug screens on call after hours should an incident occur or anything like that for human resources for in-house. So Can you advise what technical?
Yes, so it's essentially the same contract that we approved back in the end of May. Once we sent it over to community, they had some more changes that they wanted, which don't really affect it. For example, they were concerned about, there's a clause in our standard contract that requires contractors to comply with our affirmative action ordinance. They said they didn't know what that was, so they couldn't sign it after all. I provided them a copy of that. They reviewed it. They said fine. So we're able to keep that in. There was just some other technicalities. When they have to keep records, they wanted us to specify that really the records are just the tests. They don't have any other records other than the drug tests or the screens. And that was there was very minor things that, again, didn't affect anything major, but that took months to go back and forth with them. So we finally got the approval this morning. They said, hey, we're ready to go. Submit us a new contract, and then we can get started on doing these after-hour drug screens or whatever we need at that time.
Thank you, Attorney Miller. So at this time, I would move to accept the amendment to the amended contract.
Second.
All right, revised. At this time, I would like to move to accept the revised contract for Community Health Net.
Been moved and seconded to accept the revised contract for the Community Care Network. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is five in favor, 0 opposed.
With a vote of 5 in favor and 0 against, the revised contract for Community Care Network, Inc. has been approved. Any other new business, old business? Alex, do we have any calls in queue?
No, sir.
I see on the list that our list for speakers has not been signed. Is there anyone in the room that wishes to speak with the board today? May I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting has been adjourned. Thank you.